So this episode is the first official reveal of the completed Warren House Occult Museum in Barndoor Studios. This was intended to end up being an investigation with paranormal equipment. Well, it turned out none was needed. We're leaving right now, and I nearly cried at the end, and I also nearly cried at the beginning of this night from what happened in the house. There's actually one thing that happens during this night that I have never seen anywhere before. I refuse to believe it's coincidence. It is remarkable, and it continues to happen throughout the night, as this is the very first time I've actually been able to show the home and appreciate it and not be constantly trying to fix or prepare something. It felt as though I was getting nods of approval throughout the night. So I hope you enjoy this kind of first ever casual, formal, completed walkthrough of the home. I want to say thank you all so much for allowing the Overnight channel and TFIL to ever become what it did, to get the opportunity to ever be here in the first place 4 years ago, and then the fundraiser that we did years ago. All of you have been a part of this, and I have put every ounce of energy I can possibly have into this, and I really, really hope Ed and Lorraine are proud, and Dan and the Warren family and everyone else, to be able to dedicate the last 3 months of my life to the day, July 31st we announced it, Halloween has just ended, to making this what it is. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the tour and see me get emotional, and I'll leave it at that. And congrats to the people that are staying here overnight, and I really hope you just enjoy it, because it's every time I'm in here it's wonderful.
It's phenomenal.
So thanks, and maybe we'll get to do this again on another house related to the Warrens. Fingers crossed. We'll see if that happens. All right,
let's go.
Enjoy it, everyone.
It's pretty crazy. It's doing it again. It's doing it again. This is it. I don't know how. Welcome to Ed and Lorraine Warren's house and museum.
Just for the memory books, you know? Your first time here.
First time here, yeah.
We've been to a lot of places investigating together. Rarely do I ever like feel a room, to be honest. You can walk in and say, "Oh, it just feels creepy in here." It feels a little like.
That is Mr. Warren, and he would. Is it? Did he paint on it? We can. No, don't throw that.
No.
I'm out of here.
That's the side
It's like
door.
the warden with all the keys.
That's also that's the front door again. That's the side
I'm starting
door.
to think we don't own the keys.
That's the gate. That's the side door. That's the front
Elton!
door. We're getting closer and closer and closer, but oh my goodness.
I know in my heart she would have wanted this, what we're doing. She would have been proud of what we're doing.
And then I hope that's all we continue to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Fantastic.
hello everyone, and welcome back to the Overnight channel. Tonight is a very special episode. The channel was actually formed almost 5 years ago to the day, and we are returning to investigate a location that was the most important place I had ever been given the opportunity to visit around 4 years ago. And it is, of course, the Warren Occult Museum, and this time tonight as well, the entire house. It has been an insane journey on this channel. The way the channel has always operated over the years, no matter where we have gone, no matter what location there's been, if there's ever an opportunity to get a tour from a guide or an owner of the location, that is what we've done.
Always.
And I think tonight, in order to start this investigation, we should meet the owner.
Oh, 1000%.
And get the first ever tour of the 100% complete and ready to be seen and investigated and welcoming overnight guests of the entire Warren house, the Occult Museum, and the Barndoor Studios.
That is so cool.
So if you guys want to wait here, I will go get Matt Rife.
Wait a minute. Hi.
Elton,
What's up,
nice
Jerry?
to meet you.
Nice to
Nice
meet
to meet
you.
you.
Hi,
Nice to meet you.
Ginger.
Sorry, Matt couldn't be here tonight.
Oh, it's fine.
He's busy. He's successful. These are for you.
What is this?
So the first page
Ooh, I
is
love
just your
presents.
physical liability waiver.
Oh, thanks.
Just generic, if anything happens, trip, fall. And then you're gonna get to the spiritual liability form.
Wait, what?
Yeah, spiritual liability form. It just states that anything that may happen to you in the home, in the museum, on the property, or anything afterwards.
Physical risks include, but are not limited to, potential injuries inflicted by unknown and or unseen forces such as scratches, marks, burns, bites, death,
Huh?
bodily exposures to gases or liquids of unknown origin, and being hit by projectiles.
So everything that you see in that agreement, as things happened over the last few months of renovating the house, we would notate that and send that to the lawyer to then add it. So all these different things that we have added, other than death, have happened in the last.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah.
You're lucky I don't know where I am right now. I run off so far. I have no idea where I am. I'm stuck, dude. Okay, here we go. Sign our life away.
I'm into this.
You are?
And as a reminder, this is your home and no one else's home until 1:30 in the morning. In the afternoon. Welcome in. Do you guys want to follow me back through here?
So cool.
Yeah, this is really cool.
So this is the entire house. It's 3 stories. You have the entire basement level, the main floor, and the apartment above as well. So the first places I want to show you, of course, are the backyard. And if you've seen some of the films, then you might recognize the gazebo, even the car, the 1933 Chevy Master sedan.
Whoa.
A lot of this has been used in the films, typically at the end in the credits. The gazebo was a 50th anniversary gift from Ed to Lorraine. And what you see back there are the, right on cue.
That was
did
so
that light
cool.
Crazy.
What the heck? Wait, hold on.
Those are motion
What?
sensor lights, and that was right on cue. That
What?
was nuts.
Why did that light turn on? What's over there?
It's
So-
just it's a motion sensor light.
But there's nothing that made it.
No.
That's right on cue. That's actually insane. So those are the pet cemeteries for their dogs, their cats, their chickens, the roosters. All of their animals were buried right back there. They loved their pets more than anything else. Lorraine and Ed were constantly donating to animal charities as well as churches and everything else. But they literally even cremated their chickens and their roosters. Like every pet they had was a member of their family, and they're all buried here. Most people don't realize, if it wasn't for this studio, if it wasn't for this artwork here, the Occult Museum, the home, the movies, probably the world's love for the paranormal, the acceptance of it, wouldn't exist. But I don't think people realize how many decades it took of the artistic work and the open communication and reaching out to people door to door to door to try and get people to talk about their hauntings in an era when no one wanted to, that eventually led to people going, oh, the Warrens, we'll talk to you about this.
After their initial meeting, George and Kathy agreed to let the Warrens investigate.
The Lutzes, I think, felt very calmed and comforted by the Warrens, who had a lot of experience in this field.
The Warren, oh, you have a haunted item, talk to the Warrens. And that's how it happened. Door to door to door, painting to painting to painting. that eventually led to the largest horror movie franchise in history. That is their car.
The actual car is
That
right
is,
there.
Just about to ask.
that is their car. It is not their first car. They did get it a little bit later, but they kept it in pristine condition. They did take it to a few cases. All of the paintings that you see in here, most of which were found up in the loft of the museum, or kind of in the back in the furnace room, in the basement, in various areas. So we just wanted to put it on display. We've been juggling stuff because we need to clear the house to get the house ready, to understand what we need for beds and furniture to get everything ready. So then that was already packed full of stuff over there. So we had to move the car and put it in the corner and filled this entire room full of stuff. But then we got all the stuff that was there, donated it, figured out what was good, put the rest in the storage unit in the back. Then moved all the stuff that was here over there, which now means we can finally start utilizing this area and create a whole new surprise of a room for people that are coming here. You'll see the progression of artwork from Ed Warren, because you'll see how it started during like Barndoor Studios era, a lot of actual like people and caricatures, portraits, winter landscapes, then it goes to nighttime landscapes, then it goes to haunted houses, and then it goes to ghouls and goblins and demons, and it parallels their career in the paranormal. But the importance of this and why these paintings really matter is that the way they would talk to people about their haunted homes is they would hear it in like either a newspaper or college campus, and then they would go to that person's home and they would paint it out, and then either Ed or Lorraine would go to that person's door and go, hey, my husband made this lovely painting of your home. We also heard, and it was their icebreaker to get to talk to them about their paranormal occurrences, get invited into the home, and that's how it built from there. So what's really cool is right behind you is an Ed Warren painting, 1965, of Lorraine. And if you look at the chair, we found the chair.
Really?
Yeah. So during the process, we found the painting up in the loft of the museum, and then we found the chair also back here behind the car. And then with that, to my surprise, which was really cool, we found a few of these paintings here that I was like, these don't look like Ed's brushstrokes. And then eventually found the sign that said New England Paintings by Lorraine Warren. Those are like the only ones that we know. There's 2 more in the house, and to us that was really cool to find. So the next area that's important for you to know for the entire stay is this is the spiritual sanctuary. So this right here was Lorraine's chicken coop, and at the time that we got the house, this was just storage. It was just filled with outdoor storage items. And then I don't know where or why or how, but for some reason I kept getting these just thoughts in my head that this needed to be turned into something to keep people safe from when they go into the museum or leaving the museum, or if anything happens in the house, just to give them some place to protect them. Because during these overnight stays, the Nesper team, we can't be here the whole night. So now I know that if something does happen in the home and maybe you don't know what to do, you don't know what to do to keep you safe, that's okay. You can come into here. Every single cross and crucifix you see in the wall came from a nunnery. The holy water is there. The rosaries are there. This entire place has been sanctified by a priest. You have statues of St. Michael. The church pew that you see there was actually already on the deck, and it was Lorraine's.
This?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the reason why that is called Dan Rivera's protection prayer is that St. Michael's prayer, which was the prayer that he had everyone read when he would bring people here. And of course, he also named his youngest son Michael as well. And he did pass away during the process of this home kind of being converted over to what is now, I guess, like a short-term rental process. So we wanted to leave that prayer there. First time revealing it. I haven't even seen it from afar yet. Everyone's asleep. It's 1 a.m. But this is... Damn, dude, that's cool. Damn, dude, that's really cool. That's really cool. We like it like perfectly sized out. It like looks the right way. Everything's sweet.
Well done.
Let's get it up.
Yeah.
So that way, if you are not religious and you don't know what to read and you feel as though you need to, well, you have it right there to be able to read when needed. And then we have the music playing the entire time just to kind of give you that bit of serenity and that sound protection as well.
Question.
Yeah.
What are these?
Rosaries. Wait, rosaries? Is that what you're pointing to?
Both, I guess?
Yeah.
The both.
So the rosaries are there, and they were blessed by Father Bob. He is a priest out of the Providence, Rhode Island area. Those are there for you to take whenever you need. And the holy water also comes from St. Patrick's in New York City as well.
I can take those?
Yes.
And they'll protect me?
Yes.
Whoa, whoa.
What the?
Oh
What
my
the?
God.
Holy sh!
Holy
Holy sh!
What's happening?
Holy sh!
What's happening?
Holy sh!
What's happening?
Holy sh!
The moment
Holy sh! Whole house.
What is
Holy sh! Actually freaking out right
What's
now.
happening, dude? That's tripping me
that?
out.
Oh.
That's tripping me
Oh.
out.
Holy sh! Whole power in the whole house.
Why? Why did it just do that?
It fried the light bulbs. Look, they're
Why?
all permanently.
Why is
Every single
everything-
light, dude, what just
Wait,
every
what?
light- Every light just turned. Every light. Every
Wait,
light.
what?
Every light. Every light. Everything. All of it. All at once. All of it. What the?
So confused
All
right
of
now.
it.
Why?
All of it. All of it. Everything.
Wait, what?
Every single light just turned. Every bulb is like fried. Like they're just stuck.
And they'll protect me?
Yes.
Whoa, whoa.
What the?
Oh
What
my
the?
God.
Holy sh!
Holy.
Holy sh!
What's happening?
Holy sh!
What's happening?
Holy sh!
What's happening?
Holy sh!
The moment
Holy sh! Whole house.
What is
Holy sh!
happening?
Actually freaking out right
What's
now.
happening, dude? That's tripping
What's
me
that?
out.
Oh.
That's tripping me
Holy
out.
sh-
Holy sh! Whole power in the whole house. Look, even the foot.
Oh!
Dude, what is happening?
Confused right now.
Right as you were talking about Dan.
Yeah, I was
And-
thinking the same.
What
thing.
is happening?
Protection.
I was thinking the same.
But
thing.
even all the light, like the light bulbs are all being in.
the light bulbs are supposed to flicker.
I
They're supposed
know
to look
they're
like flames.
They're flame bulbs, but they're
And
all,
they don't look like flames
not
right
flame
now.
bulbs.
They're
Those
literally
are.
flame bulbs.
all the house ones like locked. Like look, all of them locked.
Why
What?
did everyone
Holy
so-
sh!
And they all turn.
Dude, that might make me cry.
Damn.
That's crazy. And we've talked about every time. It's like always like one. Holy sh! Every time. I mean, the very first. Dude, why? Every time. The very first time we ever did like a live stream, we had the light bulb in the basement
Yeah.
go out on its own. And then when Matt and I were here with Josh, that light went out on its own, and I replaced that
Yeah,
one.
I remember that one.
And the light at the top of the stairwell when Matt was investigating turned itself
Yeah,
on and
I remember
off.
that one. No
And
one
I
was
keep
near the
saying that,
sweat.
and then a light in the museum also did it on and off when we were interviewing Tony, like just for something completely different. And I keep saying that all the lights in the house get controlled at will, and it's never at random. It's never
It's
at
never
random, ever.
That was insane.
And they're all permanently on. Every single, dude.
They're all.
Everything went
something
bright,
just like.
dude.
There they go again.
But the thing is like the museum lights didn't get touched. I
No,
watched them.
this feels like good. This doesn't feel bad. This feels like
It feels
It
bright.
feels like
What
Dan's playing
I
bright.
said protection
Does
and
it not?
everything just went off.
The second I point to the pet cemetery, go, okay, that's, it's permanently on, dude. I did that a month ago,
Yeah, and
and
that's
they've
what's-
never
look how bright
malfunctioned.
it is.
was only the outside lights of the house,
This
dude. I
is
swear, I
insane.
swear on my life, we're the only 4 people here.
Oh,
I
1,000%.
swear on my life,
I
we're the
freaking
only
hope so.
4 people here.
1,000%.
Dude, that's actually one of the, like, any EVP, any REM pod, anything, that's the most insane thing I've ever seen.
What do you think?
I don't take it all for coincidence at all. I don't think any of it's coincidence. I don't think the fact that my brain went into, hey Elton, you're not a religious person at all. You don't go to church unless you're on a travel trip. And I decided to build that with that much detail and got it sanctified. And the second, dude, it didn't happen over here. It didn't happen during a big gust of wind. It didn't happen during lightning. It's
No,
not
it
raining.
didn't.
We didn't lose power.
It also was storming for over 24 hours, and none of this.
No,
happened.
none of this happened
None of
at
this
all.
happened, and now that it's
That's like undeniably, dude. I'm actually freaking out again. It didn't even turn those off. Like,
Yeah, no, it didn't.
dude,
Oh, look, see, now you
I
fixed
know
them. You
something
reset them.
surged it. Something surged the entire house with power.
It got completely filled, and then dimmed, and then came back up.
I'm gonna get close.
Dude, that is unreal. Something legitimately just punched the whole house with power and set every single light off and literally just like jammed the light bulb.
I think this is so cool. I feel like you were getting a little emotional too, talking about Dan right now.
Absolutely.
And I feel like maybe that was felt.
Yeah, these are working fine now.
That was
Crazy.
Because there was like a flick,
Crazy.
boom.
And I just got the music in today too. I wired in the speaker. I got everything done.
You finished. You finished today. This is your first tour now that it's finished.
Dude, the timing.
So
The
cool.
timing
That
is
was
like,
really cool.
I don't believe in coincidence anymore.
Not like
I just
that,
don't.
dude. Not like
Not
that. That was
with
like
that door opening and the break in, and then the gate opening and then the break in, and then that, and the timing and the timing and the timing and the timing. I mean, that's
I don't believe in coincidence anymore. Damn it, that was a nod of approval. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, that's I'm trying not to cry right now, so I keep biting the pen.
Cry.
No.
Just cry, you little.
No, that's why I keep biting the pen.
Be in touch with your emotions.
No, you can't. I still can bite it.
Just enjoy.
No.
Anna's trying to talk to you.
I get it.
He wants you to have emotions.
I get it. That was sick, dude. Whatever you need, the holy water also comes from St. Patrick's in New York City as well.
I can take those.
Yes. Protection. Just went off. The second I went to the pet cemetery. This is so. I don't even know where I'm going.
Oh yeah. I'm here leading like it's my house. Hey, welcome to my crib.
The only thing that we do ask is that when you are outside at night, we do try and keep the noise out here just a minute because we're in a neighborhood. We do have neighbors.
Not like we were just.
Yeah, not like what we were just
right
doing,
okay.
but that was really incredible, and I think everyone appreciated it. But in general, if you're back here, especially up here, our neighbors can hear you. The apartment upstairs has bunk beds and a queen bed, a full kitchen, full bathroom, everything else, dining table, all of it. So welcome in.
Did you bring your jammies? Oh, yeah.
You guys would like anything, you got snacks there, the fridge is full, whatever it is that you need. Take whatever it is that you'd like.
Can I use the restroom?
You can use the restroom. You can use the entire bed. You can use the restroom. Yeah. So if you're in here, you do have 24/7 on the museum. So you can see anything that's happening there. If your friends are investigating, you can watch them as well. The kitchen that you see right there, this is where Ed and Lorraine would have their morning breakfast, discuss their paranormal cases, go over their notes. We found a lot of their handwritten notes where they would write down their ideas for their books, for their lectures, anything else like that. This is predominantly where the two of them would sit and discuss all those things. And same thing, this is the phone that they would get their calls about. If, hey, we heard about this case that's in Long Island, can you help? This is where she would have learned about Amityville.
Wow.
So right here is where they would have learned it. Their notepad would have been here. She would have taken down their number, their information, things like that. Ed and Lorraine would have discussed it with each other, and this is how it would have all started right here. And they were the ones, unlike, I guess, like modern day ghost hunters that kind of show up the locations that are already known to be haunted. They were the ones that were getting these kind of calls about, I think it might be, can you help?
Right.
And they would go down into those rabbit holes to figure it out.
And over the years, thousands of people with haunted lives, people who are frightened, have called on them for help.
I feel it's a duty, something that we were meant to do, and we do it. You know, a police officer don't like to go into a home where there's a madman with a gun, but he does it because it's his duty. I feel this is our duty.
I took my favorite photo of Ed and Lorraine and I sent it over to an artist to convert it into an oil painting.
Whoa.
And I just absolutely love this painting. When we first put it up, we kind of realized that no matter where you walk, they're watching you. Like, even if you're here or here.
Yeah, now
or
that
there,
you say it.
It's still looking at me.
Yeah, I wanted to just kind of create something in the home to, you know, visually obviously demonstrate Ed and Lorraine beyond just, I don't know, blowing up a photo and printing it. So this artist did a phenomenal job, and now we're also commissioning more paintings of them in various places. Like, we have a beautiful photo of Lorraine right here on the phone, and I'm getting that converted to a painting as well to either put here or here. So we're gonna keep doing that. And then we had this custom built to match everything else, but all of this equipment is provided for you.
This looks
During this day.
familiar.
So everything is here for you.
I feel like we're missing
Plus,
Oh, I spoke too soon.
so every single thing, all the cameras, body cameras, motion sensors, REM pods, laser grids, Ouija boards, all of it is here for you. If anything ever dies, all the chargers are here. Everything is labeled as well, so you know exactly what to plug in. If for some reason you need batteries, candles, dowsing rods, these are also here as well. So all of this is free to use, and just because I know
Oh wait, there's more.
I know a channel on YouTube called Overnight that has to wear a vest because they're always dropping things. Well, instead of vests, we have toolboxes here for you.
That
So
is
if you
cool.
wanna
That is so cool.
It's
perfectly
like a ghost tool purse.
measured it so everything can kind of fit. You go a little shopping, you know?
Okay.
A little shopping.
I love shopping.
Fill up your little basket. The last thing we have here is that all of these angels that you see are actually made here in the house. We've been creating them here for the last couple of weeks. And we're doing this as a fundraiser for the ASPCA because Lorraine and Judy and the entire Warren family would always donate to various animal charities. So all of these are being made, and then we have the ability to put in custom nameplates. So if you wanted yours, you can put your name in there. We got the small ones, we have the big ones, and then what we'll be doing is we'll actually be hanging these on the fence around the entire property. So that way we can, we've already done the physical protection of the property by putting the fence up, and now we can do the spiritual protection as well. So these will all be hung up on the fence or on the property. They will stay here forever. They're made to last in any kind of weather condition.
This is
and,
great.
if you want one shipped to you as well, we can do that instead if you want it as a Christmas ornament. My
I will
first
buy
dog, 2 of my
5.
dogs. You will buy 5?
5.
What names are you putting on them?
Jerry.
That would be really funny if
Jerry.
someone bought 1,000 of it. Just the entire wall is just there.
I was just gonna put all my name on it and then pass it to people.
Honestly, if you
Yeah.
did, if someone wanted to do J, like J-E-R-R-Y,
Oh.
if someone wanted to do that, I would 100%
That's
make
pretty
sure they all got
funny.
lined up in a
That's
row.
a great idea.
Let me show you the living room. So this cabinet over here, everything that you see.
Yo!
What?
What?
This cabinet over here, everything that you see.
Yo!
What?
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 Dog, whatever was here, just something knocked on the
That's impossible.
No, I'm so serious.
No, that's impossible.
I have like full
That's
chills
impossible. That's impossiple. It's a fireplace. There's no wood.
It went doom. It
Right
was
here.
literally right next to us. Like, no,
No,
it didn't sound
no,
like
it
that.
didn't
Oh,
sound-
Just
deeper.
like 100%. This is an entire chimney.
Yeah.
That we've already capped off. No one can use it. This is obviously like a a pseudo mantle.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you look outside that door and make sure there's no one over there?
There is again. I would.
I know. Can you
would
just
know.
make sure
I
for
want
me?
it to go off. No, there's nothing here. Everything is exactly the same as it has always been.
No. No. No.
Nope.
What was it? Like almost like that. Really deep.
That's a first for me. That's an actual first for me.
Put that on the note. The light, the knock. Okay, got it. That's crazy.
So everything that is in this glass case were all items that were found during the cleaning and kind of renovation process. That jar right there is a jug of holy water in Ed's handwriting that was found in the den and the closet. We have Lorraine's glasses, 2 more of Lorraine's paintings, small photos, again, they're handwritten notes from their phone calls, shoes, some of the glassware that he would paint. They loved their pets, and we found all of the collars to their pets, cremation certificates, we found all of it, some wedding gifts to each other, and some of these smaller like houses that Ed would paint as well, and some of his memorabilia from being in the Navy as well. And we do have it, obviously reinforced and locked in, like you're not getting that open. Same thing, we didn't want to kind of null and void the integrity of the home. We did take down a lot of things just to kind of make sure that there was nothing that could be easily stolen. But we did replace a lot of it with some of his paintings. So these are the real paintings that we brought into the home.
Like,
yeah.
This he painted.
Yes, this is an Ed Warren painting, one of the earlier haunted houses paintings that he did. And then this to me is the most fascinating piece because I went back and I looked at the footage. And this was one of the very first pieces that I found when I was kind of cleaning out the basement. That's really fun. Hey, it says
Oh my
overnight.
god, overnight! They're fans!
That's funny, Lily Warren in overnight.
How did they know?
So this ended up being one of the furthest back into like the storage area that we got, and then ended up being one of the last things to pull out. And then we were finally getting the home ready and going, okay, what are we gonna put up on the walls? I came across this. Now the interesting thing is, when I looked back at all of Ed's paintings of all of the haunted houses and all of the castles, they were all based off of places that existed. Real castles, real houses, real locations, whether from books, but they existed somewhere else. And there was one here that I found, the Warren Inn, overnight guest, vacancy. And this is one of the last paintings I found that I have here from 1996.
Dude.
It's so bizarre. It's like as if he wanted to have a Warren Inn.
Yeah.
And then overnight guests.
And it's just so funny because overnight,
It's
obviously.
the name of the channel, Overnight.
Overnight guests.
And the only thing he got wrong is there's no vacancy. Because we're sold out for a year. The furniture I brought in as well because it was kind of, older furniture. But those 2 rocking chairs are Lorraine's. The wood one there under the air conditioner was her favorite one. And then of course one of her earlier ones there, it's a little bit more fragile. We do have some custom, investigation devices that are built in here. And then same thing, we wanted to kind of keep the aesthetic of the home, but
Nice.
still have a TV. So if you want to watch any of the Conjuring movies, they're all preloaded onto here, ready for you. Full-blown sound system that's in here as well.
Evan flew all the way in to help us film B-roll and the media kit and do interviews, but earlier today I had someone come over who said they could do the TV, but they could do it on Tuesday, and then Evan said I could do it in an hour. It's something that's never off the earth.
Dude, we're so close. This is so close to being done. We're so close to being done in here.
Yeah, just kind of the extra
is cool.
crucifixes that we had from the nunnery and the convent that we bought from that were in the sanctuary. These are some of the extras.
I like how you filled it up like that.
If you guys want, there's a guest book over there for you in the morning. Ed ended up having a stroke.
Sorry.
And for a few years was very immobile, so these doors didn't exist here. And this is the room that Ed pretty much lived in for the last few years of his life. And then this room as well didn't have a door on it because same thing with Lorraine, she ended up being a little bit more immobile. So these doors weren't here, and this was Lorraine's room as well until 2019. So Ed here in 2006, and then Lorraine here in 2019. But this was Ed's den. This is where he would work and he would study and he would write. Of course, it's much warmer here than being in the office in the museum. And then this was their master bedroom that connects. But all the furniture in here is original to the home except for the bed frames and the lighting fixtures, but everything else here is as it was.
Oh, wow. It
And
looks so nice in here.
yeah, so all the items in here were collected by Ed. I did position them all in a way where they look at you when you sleep in this bed.
Wait, what?
Find it
Cool,
hilarious.
cool,
Oh,
cool.
They, every single one of them
I'm
looks at you.
sleeping in this bed.
Yeah, this was his desk. I mean, even the chair, you can see he painted the chair.
Yeah.
So
Whoa.
anything he could find, he could paint, he would paint it. So these chairs are here, they're a little fragile. But the yours, this chair used to be in the museum. There's a really famous photo of Ed and Lorraine sitting in this chair in the museum right by the loft. And then every single door that was made, anything that was added to the house also got blessed with holy oil placed into the stain when we made the doors. So we
cool.
made sure of that. Ed's artwork is here. A few more pieces of Ed's artwork here as well. So we really just wanted to make it feel the way he would, and we'll continue adding items as we find them. What just happened to you?
Tell me why I thought you opened the door. I was about to go in. I was like, oh, what's next?
Oh man. So here we have
Wow.
Lorraine's room, and again, anything they could paint, they would. You have a coat rack here. These were their chairs as well that used to be in the living room. Obviously the bed frame and the light we brought in.
It's so good in here.
But this was her furniture and some photos of them as well. And that does connect to the bathroom that you can use.
It's a very cozy room. What's
like
your
it.
favorite room?
Ooh, you know, I've slept in every single room, but for some reason I do enjoy this one the most.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I enjoy it. It's also the way the sun comes through in the morning. So I didn't touch any of the curtains. This is how they had all the curtains. They didn't have like blackouts. So the way the sun comes through in the morning, it kind of like gently wakes you up. This is my favorite one. It's really cool.
Question.
Yes. Yeah, this is how it was. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. We didn't change anything.
Straight up?
Yeah. So if you want, you can just wave to your neighbor. Yeah, we didn't change anything. The only thing we did was just add some doors, fix some things that needed repairing, but we tried
Is there
to
air on
not
in here?
touch. No.
Let the curtain just move?
Yeah, we didn't change anything. The only thing we did was just add some doors, fix some things that needed repairing, but we tried
Is there
to
air on
not
in here?
touch. No.
Let the curtain just move?
All my windows are sealed shut,
There's that just freaking
and
move.
there's no air vent over here.
The whole thing, this whole fringy part just went. Can you do it again? Just for my friends?
Lorraine?
It was very cool.
That's very fitting if it is Lorraine, because whenever I was cleaning certain areas out, I'd always get these kind of like warm, gentle breezes on like my neck whenever I felt as though I cleaned something that she approved of. I was down here from like 10 p.m. till 5 in the morning. Dude, I'm waiting for that door just to hit me. And I did it in pure silence. No music, no videos, nothing. I just wanted to be down here and hear everything. And every once in a while I would pick up certain items and I would feel this like, not goosebumps, but like the same sensation, but it felt like the positive way. Like almost like when someone comes up to you and gives you like a shoulder rub and you don't expect it. Like they come behind you and they kind of just do that and you're just like, oh. It felt like that as I was cleaning more and more and more and more and more. That's crazy. That's 3 things.
The difference between the 2 rooms' vibes is completely different.
What do you feel?
It's much darker here for some reason. It feels much brighter on the right side.
I like that room.
I was a demonologist. And that is where he studied it.
I could feel it.
The only demonologist recognized by the Catholic Church, which is still absolutely insane to think about. Fun fact about the Halloween room, and most people don't know this, and a lot of people on the internet like to say that we're doing things that the Warrens would have never approved of or never wanted by allowing people into the home, saying that they never would have done this, they never would have done this, they never would have had people in the museum. All that's false. They used to literally host people at their house and have popcorn with them on the front porch and offer them tea and offer them coffee and bring them in here, and they would hang out in here and sometimes watch it. And they would also bring people down to the Halloween room, which is where Nesper, and they would go over cases, evidence, and for other people, they would lecture people down here as well, show them VHS tapes of their cases, and they would invite people to their home to learn about the paranormal. And they would start here first, and then they would lead them into the passageway, and then lead them into the museum. They did this for decades. Decades and decades and decades they had people. I have the logs of every person that I could find that they brought into the home. And the $20 they paid or the $13 they paid, and they would invite people to this house to do the exact same things that we're doing today. And not only that, they also took people on international ghost hunting trips.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
You could go ghost hunting with them in Europe, and mainly in Scotland and England you could go on a ghost hunt with them.
Because she loved the castles in Ireland so much too. Yeah.
And they also used to take the items out. Not only did they bring like people into the museum, but they would bring the items to local restaurants. So all of that used to happen in this house, and everything that we're doing here is kind of in place with that, and we found all these flyers that literally match up to a T to like what we're doing here. When we got the home, this entire room was filled to here. Every inch. So the floor was under about 3, 4, sometimes 6 inches of water, depending on where it was, and every single inch of this room was filled with boxes, chairs upside down, all of it to the brim, cobwebs. I mean, it was, and I decided to spend 9 hours straight in here. I think I did it from 9 p.m. until 6 in the morning. I have slowly put back together the entire basement. Dude, this was literally boxes and boxes and boxes. This is all the really, really cool stuff that I've been finding and I've been collecting. Just look at the photos, man, like, it's so sick. Super stoked that I've been able to pull this off. And then tomorrow as well, we're gonna finally get that open. And the last thing I have to do is clean out that area. But it's coming along, man. It's gonna be sweet. And then I went and found old photos, such as the one behind you, and try to put everything back in the Halloween room as it was. If it was in the museum, I left it in the museum, but if I could find it and replace it, I would put it right back to where it was. I found the desk just like this. That's Ed's chair, some of the photographs, all of his books. Everything in here is original, nothing is a recreation. This room is probably the closest to the exact way I found it, and the last time I think that door was actually used, I think was 2013. I think that's what we figured out, that the last time anyone had ever actually gone through the Halloween room to the museum was 2013. But this is a table where everyone from Nesper would sit and review the cases and the evidence. That door just opened on its own right there.
No, why would you say that and it moved?
Oh my god! There's no way! It's closed. There's no way!
Yo!
Careful, it's gonna
No,
close on
this-
you.
Oh my god!
That's the door that closed on me a different time.
Oh my god! At least we caught that one on camera. I'm literally just staring at it and I'm going, did I leave the door 2 inches open? It's like every time I like talk about the sanctuary, and then it's like right as I'm done talking about the sanctuary, all the lights go off. I talk about Ed and Lorraine and how they're watching you investigate, and as long as you do so with respect, I take a step away.
We hear.
You guys hear the big thud. I talk about the den and Lorraine's room, finish all that information and talk about that, and then the curtains move.
Yeah.
And then I am literally done here talking about the Halloween
This
room
is
and moving on to the
crazy.
passageway, and that door opens, which it hasn't done it again since. It's like every single time I conclude a certain room, a new thing happens. That's and they're all different.
Like
to me, it
approval.
feels like approval. And again, I mean, that's me, so I'm biased, but like it genuinely, there it goes again. And look, wait, look at the curtain. Look at the scarf. Look at the scarf. Look at the scarf moving. This is. What the fuck? We're in the basement. We're in cinder blocks. The scarf. His scarf is moving.
And it's only the right side of the
What?
scarf, not the left side of the scarf.
We're in a basement, fully cinder block. There's no open windows. There's nothing in here. I know this place inside and out. Thanks, Ed. We're
Hello,
literally
Ed.
talking about, is it approval?
Yeah, and it did it again.
And there's your furnace. So now
And there's the furnace.
Now
Yeah,
you know
now
the
it's the
furnace is on.
furnace.
That's proof. Now you know the furnace is on. You hear the furnace. So now air is going to push through. So now the motor's going to kick, but the blower's not even on yet. That's just the furnace. There you go. And now your blower's on. That's actually crazy. Again, that's a brand new one for me. The only door I've seen move is this one.
Can I tell you my story with that door?
With that door?
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened?
So I was printing paperwork, and my computer's upstairs, the printer's down here, so I run up and down all day, just printing, going up. And I was in there, and I got my papers.
What? This door just moved!
I was in there, and I got my papers.
What? This door just moved! The door just moved! The door just moved! I heard it! It's the same sound it made when Matt was here.
Oh my god!
Holy sh!
You're squeezing me hard!
Because I heard it! That's the same damn noise it made when Matt was here. I was in the passageway down there, and I think Matt was like right here, and that door went eek.
What the? Oh my god, dude! I'm not even kidding. The tunnel door moved.
And it just did it right now.
Did you see?
There's no HVAC system over here. There's nothing over here. I will prove it to you right now.
I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack.
There's nothing. This is null and void. This is just the passageway. There's nothing. There's no vents. That was literally just a...
Now that door's closed. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
We almost didn't film this tonight.
No.
We almost, I'm like genuinely, I'm like not, we almost didn't film it. We can show the clip where I go, my brain isn't working.
I was rolling too.
You were, exactly. My brain just was like, I can't do this right now. Oh dude, I don't know if I can get my brain to do this right now. I'm sorry guys. No,
you're
good.
good.
I can't get it.
Good.
It's not, I'm telling you, it's not there. I'm like over analyzing everything I'm saying right now. My brain no work right now.
Keep going. Just keep going.
No, I can't. My brain is shot right now. I literally cannot get my brain to work right now. I can feel it disconnecting. I'm literally talking and my brain just shuts off mid-sentence. Yeah, I don't know if I have it. I just don't know if I have it right now. The history and information is really hard for my brain right now. I think we can investigate the museum, no problem, but I think the idea of doing the tour is cool, but I don't know, I just can't.
I've never seen you react like that before.
Because that's so rare. The last time was when the big 5 bangs happened above me. There goes the door again. One of the first times investigating in here was this light turning itself on and off that we rewired to make sure. And then I was standing here because the body camera turned off, and right above my head I heard.
Well, dude, it validates what happened because you went up and the light flicked. Huh?
What? And one of the loudest, clearest, just audible noises I've ever heard in my entire life while investigating.
Explain it.
And there was no explanation for it. And some people were like, "Oh, was it here?" It's like, no, this is just like it's just the electrical cabinet. There's nothing in it, and it's null and void. That wiring isn't even connected to anything anymore. That's crazy. That's actually crazy, dude. This is also the first time since I've had the house. It's been 3 months exactly to the day since we announced buying the house.
Yeah.
That I've just walked around and like enjoyed it. I'm not walking around with like a drill or, you know, like trying to fix something or paperwork. It's like this is the very first time that I'm just enjoy. It's crazy, dude. Nothing like this has happened. I haven't seen anything like this happen. I've seen like some things get pushed off and I've heard some bangs, but this is. So this area here is leading to Lorraine's office.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa!
This is so cool.
How is this? Wow!
I have not seen this. Oh god, that one's I don't like that one.
This small area right here is the only part of the house that we slightly modified because again we had some water damage here, which led to mold. There was a very old restroom here. The furnace, the water heater was here. A lot of plumbing, washer and dryer. So we moved all of that over to a separate area, completely separated from the house. So every doll that you see here, these are all of the dolls that are known to be positively haunted. These are not known to be negative entity dolls. Not to say that we're not wrong or someone didn't lie on their letter when they sent it in to get rid of the doll. But these are all the dolls that have been collected, either, you know, purchased or sent in with letters to the Warrens or to the museum. And we have set this up to be a nice kind of scrying area. So if you would like, you have the mirror perfectly ready for you right there.
That is frightening.
And then every single Raggedy Ann you see here, a couple of years ago I did a charity event where I lived in the Warren Occult Museum 24/7, and we had these dolls living there with me, and then we sold them all to people with like a certificate of authenticity to raise money for Feeding America. And these are all the dolls that didn't sell. So I kept them, and then strangely enough, 2 years later,
you brought them
I brought them back because I got a text message saying, "Do you want to buy a house?" And then everything here, this was Lorraine's office. So we have now put 2 twin beds in here, and this is the closest place that you can sleep to the museum because the passageway is right there that connects to the museum. The only thing that has unfortunately changed in this room, which we are actively working on getting fixed, is Lorraine's desk used to be right here all the way across to there. But when we revealed all the water damage, we found mold, we had to tear it out. But I have already hired the contractor to rebuild it. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna rebuild it and then put the top there. And then in these cabinets, we found, I'm gonna say around tens of thousands, maybe 10,000 different letters that were written to Lorraine asking for help, or even saying thank you for her help, and even some of the letters that she had started to write back, notes on cases. So this was Lorraine's office. This is where she would open up all of her letters and learn everything about these cases. So I want to display some of those letters under a glass top so you can kind of see exactly where she would work. And this was the room when I was going through all of these different cabinets and cabinet and drawer after drawer and box after box that I started kind of understanding where this idea that Ed and Lorraine Warren had worked on 10,000 cases. That had come up a lot when I made my first video here. I included that in my historical voiceover section, that they worked on 10,000 cases. And mathematically, it doesn't really make sense when you span out their career, even if you called it 50 years of a career, 10,000 cases. But then what I started realizing is she would write back to nearly everyone that asked her for help. They would say, "Hey, I'm having X, Y, and Z happen in my home. Is there anything you can do?" And she had a huge stack of stamps and envelopes prepared and letterhead to write back to everyone. And what I realized is that if you consider that working on a case, if you consider responding to someone's letter,
that makes sense.
Right, the same way you would go into a doctor's office. So maybe you only see the doctor for 10 minutes, checks your throat, back the balls. You know, he goes, "You're good. Get on out of here. Go get some vitamin C." That's a case,
Maybe
right?
some vitamin D.
Nice.
Hey.
But this
that
is,
makes sense, and with her psychic abilities too. I feel like that's how a lot of people like that do work. Is you don't have to go to the house. You can be on the phone, or you can like contact some other way. So maybe by receiving the letter and talking to them that way, she was actually able to work with them in a telepathic way.
so yeah, this is where I found a lot of their lecture flyers and their Join the Warrens at the House flyers and different event posters. And this is also where I found all of her bank statements, where I got to learn that they were nowhere near as wealthy as people might think, because you think of the movies, but obviously not realizing that Ed had passed, a decade, basically before the first movie came out.
Now, does inflation count for old bills? Dude. Like, are those actually $1,000 bills? Are they real?
I can't tell if they're real or not.
Yes, this is
They are real.
No, this is real. This is real.
Hey, great for the bank, dude.
Dude, this is real.
These are like these are like crispy, like.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
I forgot that the bills used to be small like this, and then they came out.
And everyone said the Warrens weren't rich. Look at
And they were not very wealthy, and even during that, she would still write $1 checks to around 8 different charities every single month. And I found all like those kind of like, check pay stubs, carbon copy pages and all that, where I got to see how meaningful it was to her to give back, and assumingly as much as she could. But I got to learn a lot about Lorraine here, even finding their plane ticket stubs to Tokyo, which is really cool because it did match up when they went to, I believe it was like the Nagoya Tunnel. So it was really cool to kind of match that up with some of the trips and be like, oh, this is the trip where they went, where Ed got to revisit, some of the locations.
Was his last international trip too, right?
Yep. They would have their meeting, they would discuss cases, they would learn a bit about the paranormal, and then you would go through the haunted passageway, Ed Warren's gallery of haunted houses. I'll go to the museum, I'll wait for you there, and then you can take your time going through that.
Nah, I'll go with you. We could ride.
I don't want to be last. Hold on to Nick.
Wow. And this is all theirs too?
Yeah, so these are all of his paintings, and this is where I was speaking about how most of which he painted was based off of real locations. Either a local haunted barn, the Skirn Castle, the Bel Air house. So a mass majority of the locations he would paint were based off of real stories. Here's a photo of Lorraine with Patrick Wilson and Darren Raminga.
Look at that. The Warren Occult Museum.
Why did you add an S to that?
I don't know. Hello.
Welcome in.
Yeah, come on in. Come on in.
There's only 2 rules of the museum. 1, don't touch anything. There are some chairs you can sit in. I'll let you know what those are. You can sit in some things.
My hands behind
And
my
the
back.
only other thing that you need to be aware of, do not mock. Everything in this room has already proven itself or been accounted for as have a form of documented history, and there is no reason to mock anything here. If you want to have a paranormal investigation, if you want to have communication, if you want to get evidence, it can 100% be done without mocking any of the items here. So that is the only thing. Typically, we would bring you into the sanctuary to bless you and cleanse you and prepare you prior to investigating the museum. I actually 1,000,000% advise that everyone take just the minimalistic precautions. So I've been coming in here a lot, just kind of to repair things, and keeps seeming to go wrong in our personal life, which is really, the timing has been just beyond mathematical coincidence. So when we did inventory, it was about 705 items on inventory. Since then, we have added about 65 items that we have discovered and then brought down to actually add to inventory. They were kind of up in the top, and 50 more items have been brought in from other collections and other museums on loan. And with that being said, sir,
I was about to say, it's really dark in here. I can't see anything.
Whoa.
Wow. Oh, hi, Annabelle. Oh, there you are. Oh.
Whoa.
Did she just talk back?
That's so cool.
so that is one of the portals, like a geoport that we got built. It did actually sound like hi. You are legitimately the first one to see it like this. I've been in here a lot, and there were some tapping noises that seemed to be coming from near Annabelle's case. And then I realized on the other side was a window, and the window had a broken pane. We fixed the window, and then beyond that, realized that the glass was vulnerable, so I shuttered up the windows with 2x4s, like, you know, really, really thick, enclosed, you know, window shutters. There is impossible for wind to get behind there. The glass tapping hasn't stopped. Same thing with the shadow doll. We've been hearing tapping coming from the case day after day after day after day, very consistently. So I thought maybe it was potentially creaking. So we repositioned everything, locked it in place. Just did it right now, and you'll still hear glass tapping coming from the case. We have made sure that everything is completely fixed in place. Literally bringing in kneelers from the 1880s to pin in here. We found this photo in the back of the museum, and it was actually a photo of Lorraine using a Ouija board, and it was believed to be in Connecticut in a case. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't actually realize that Lorraine had ever used Ouija boards.
Yeah, me either.
And then I was up in the attic right above us, just cleaning out one more time, making sure what did I miss. Came across this with a note on it with Ed's handwriting that said, Ouija board used by Lorraine, West Hartford, Connecticut. So I decided to bring the Ouija board down, and that's Ed's exorcism kit that he would bring with him on cases. If you opened it, you would see the Bible, the cross, the holy water, and everything else that he would bring with him. Everything that was here prior were all of Ed's Halloween props. He loved Halloween, and we kind of wanted to make sure that when people came in here, they weren't confused as to what's a prop or what's not.
Yeah.
So the compromise was that we found, as suggested by, you know, Rick and Chris of Nesper as well, is that we would relocate all of his props and we would bring them into his office, which is right here. And as of just about 5 days ago, you couldn't walk past here because this is just filled with cabinets and books and kind of storage.
Yeah, this is the room that Ed used to go over his slides. You could take regular camera and use a 110 slide film, and then because back then, remember, there's no video.
Yeah, of course.
And there's no video cameras, no digital cameras, just this. So he used to get film. He used to get slide film, and then get it developed, and he could look at it through his slide viewer. There's got a light behind it. You can turn on.
Pushes through.
Yep. And it's so cool. So he just put the slide on. He can tell if there's anything supernatural there.
That is so cool.
These are his actual recorders that he would use. You know, his cassette recorders. These are actual like cameras that he would use. Those kind of cameras. These cheapy little cameras is what he would get his evidence on.
So awesome.
You know, and then these open reel tape decks. That's the first thing he ever used for interviewing anybody.
So we cleared it all out, we went through everything, and then we brought in all of his props that used to be out in the museum and displayed them all here, as well as all the Ouija boards that have been sent in. Ended up finding 2 of his jackets as well, but everything you see here was used by Ed. His cameras, his cassette players, his reel-to-reels, audio recorders, amplifiers, all of this was used by Ed. His Navy shirts as well, so more of his artwork. He painted the desk, loved traveling, loved the idea of going all over the world. These are all items that have either been sent to us on loan from other museums, from Bloody Mary in New Orleans, from the Savannah Paranormal Museum in Savannah, Georgia, and other items that we've gotten. Dolls that have been sent to us from Australia. That story is absolutely insane. Or items that I've been purchasing over the years. This is an embalming table from the 1880s, the Victorian casket as well, a viewing casket, the rosary from a nun. She was wearing this when she mysteriously passed away. Typic boxes that we've had over the years.
A lot of these look pretty familiar.
A lot of these are pretty familiar if you're watching the Overnight channel.
Items over here.
So kind of our collection, as well as some of the items I've been collecting while traveling for A to Z. So those are real voodoo dolls, not what we see in movies, but those are the real ones. That's actually what they look like. Western Africa, voodoo originated there. You have your slave trade, gets brought to the Caribbean, gets brought to America until you get Haiti and New Orleans, but in reality, this is what voodoo dolls really look like.
Wow.
The only thing we did was actually just make things like more visible, to be honest. There's a lot of things in here that were already in here and I had no idea, and I'd been in here many times, and made it way more accessible. So we did move some things back Like, for example, the pendant from the Amityville case, I had no idea that was even in the museum. This is the actual movie doll from Annabelle Comes Home.
Oh, like the actual?
Yep. Yeah, this is from Warner Brothers. Did give it to them to join the Warren Occult Museum. So yes, this is an actual movie used Annabelle. And I thought it was fitting. Typically, she would sit here and her head was kind of propped down until I realized if I positioned her, they could face each other. And I was actually in here the other night, and
that one just keeps staring at me.
It was controlling the light, and it was turning it to white, and then I would change it to red, it would go to white. I would change it to red, it would go to white. And it was controlling this light, and it was a brand new, just hardwired in light. This is the Annabelle doll. It has been triple reinforced with more marks on it. She knows something.
This is the worst thing in here. Is that doll. I'm not gonna stare at it though. So you can take the picture, but I'm not gonna stare at it because that has done bad harm on a lot of people.
This thing is going like. When we were outside, we could hear it, and it would go off like once every couple minutes.
Almost like they're communicating with each other, though. Does that not sound like it to you? Yeah, I feel like they're communicating with each other, and there's like another one that kind of comes and intervenes sometimes. Wow. Okay, I gotta stop staring at it.
Yeah.
I feel like I was about to.
It's really interesting. It's picking that voice.
I'm trying so hard to understand.
There's an infinite amount of options here, and it's picking that voice. You can sit there.
Can I?
Yeah,
okay.
Any of the chairs you can sit on. Any of the kneelers, any of the chairs you can sit on. Sound like that. So that is the chair Annabelle originally sat in.
Huh? Whoa, I thought you set me up on that. What do you mean?
So
wait, like legit?
Yeah,
sat on it.
Annabelle originally was in that chair until there were a few instances with people coming to visit the museum that were not taken seriously, including a priest who did not believe that any demon could be more powerful than God. And because of that, Ed decided that it needed more protection, and Lorraine decided the same thing, in which that case ended up being built to put the Annabelle doll into. And that was the original case that Annabelle was in, attached to the wall. And then eventually they wanted to bring Annabelle to different locations to help educate people about the entity, about the world, about attachments and possession and artifacts and things of that nature, in which this case was built by Dan Rivera. Conjuring mirror is right here.
Right here is a conjuring mirror. Everything and anything in here we have investigated. Don't ever touch anything. And if you do, let me know.
And then this kneeler is from, I think, 1878 that we just got. And it's positioned here, so if anyone wants to use the conjuring mirror the way it is intended, you have it here. Wow. But yeah, that is that's the entire museum. I mean, there's an infinite amount of information here for sure. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So just full discretion. We were planning on investigating tonight and last night and the night before to do 3 nights of investigations here. It's literally 3:20 in the morning. We have to leave in 35 minutes to go to one of our really good friends' wedding. And also, Halloween's officially over. It's now November 1st. And the very first guest will be checking in here in about 14 hours. And again, the entire plan of having you guys all come out was to just film episodes, to film this tour and to investigate night after night and make something really cool before the house does go up for rental. Literally every night is sold out until August 23rd. And I'm not kidding. Ginger has been going nonstop, Jerry nonstop, Nick nonstop. I mean, everyone. Like it's I'm gonna get teary-eyed thinking about it, but it's like, wow. Oh, it's gonna hit me now. Because it's done. Oh no.
Elton has been working his ass off for not for months, but especially this past week and the past weeks, and He hasn't even left the actual property for a week now.
He hasn't gone out.
He doesn't go
Oh,
anywhere
wow.
to go to the gas station to get a
I
snack.
that's right. I haven't
He said,
left.
hey, come to dinner. He literally will stay here. And one could say, well, we could have just been done a month ago. We could have been done a week ago. But every single day, Elton will find something to make it better for you guys. So, if I hardwire this light, it'll last longer. And if I do this, it'll look a little bit cooler in the museum. Or if I move this, people will have a little bit more room to sit today. And so it's honestly so impressive to just watch. And as frustrating as it is to not be done yet, I think it's absolutely worth it because you've just been working up. And it's all these teeny tiny little details that add up to like the perfect experience for you guys.
Yes.
For everybody who is staying here. Like nothing has gone unnoticed by this guy.
No, he's been pushing very, very hard.
That is why we did
Very
not
hard.
film, because the higher priority right now is making this the freaking coolest place ever for you guys, and I think it is, but I will guarantee you it will never be good enough for Elton. Every time he comes back, he's gonna do another thing, and it's gonna get better, and cooler, and funner, and more exciting. So
I think we're there. It was just, like, I went back up into the loft, and I was like, are we missing anything? Because we had that night where the K2 kept going off at the ceiling. And then everything in the room kept saying up, and I'm like, there is no up except for up there. And then I go up there, and what do I find?
Found the jacket.
I found Ed's jacket. What else do I find? 3 more of Lorraine's paintings.
Yeah.
Like, I went back up there, I was like, there's no way there's anything else.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, I'm like, there we go, and we find it. And then now the K2 doesn't spike on the ceiling anymore. And maybe it will because there's something else up there. And I'm like, okay, well, where do we put Ed's jacket? And I don't know, it's just like we find all these things and I want to have it on display, and then I go, well, where do people sit? And like I did host Ghost Hunts here with all the contest winners, and I was like, they didn't really have a place to sit. So then I was like, okay, let's get some cool seats, but they can't just be any seats. And then I find a Victorian funeral home collector that has basically a massive collection with all these kneelers. And I go, well, you can sit there, and you can sit there, and you can sit there. And then I find this incredible casket that had 1,000 people in it, the rosaries and the last rites kit. And these are all things that like Ed would collect, and I did such a terrible job documenting it. Like, I mean, maybe in videos we can show what the carport looked before, but now with like the lights that we put up today, even like all these little things, like it was kind of hard to see in here. Like, Nick, kill your white light so people can see what it actually looks like in here. Like this is what it actually looks like in here now.
Yeah.
So
but before you just couldn't really see anything, and now it's like you have the light on the Lindley Street Lions, the angel, the jacket, even onto the last rites kit. I mean, even just the way this looks now, it's so cool. And like the Cobra head, and Annabelle was never lit up. It wasn't there. All these different lights and the altar, just kind of getting everything illuminated so you can really just like walk around and feel it. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. I'm really like stoked on it.
Proud of you.
But
you did it, dude.
Yeah, there's been so many people. So many people that have helped. I mean, Nick has been running around and helping me with dumb. And I have made basically no content here at all. So someone else is gonna do the final house reveal on TikTok before me.
It's okay.
But yeah, I mean, Wade and Chris and Rick and Dylan and all the carpenters. I mean, the people in this town. Like I'll text someone and go, hey, I got a water leak. Is there any way I can get someone here now? And they're like, yeah, I'll be there in 6 hours. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, can we? Everyone here has been so helpful, making sure this house got preserved and things get broken, it gets
That's
fixed
why
right
you
away.
did it. You didn't buy
So-
this house for your TikTok tour.
No.
You bought this for so many other reasons.
I don't. Yeah.
Who cares if you're not the first one to make a TikTok here?
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, I would probably. Oh Jesus. Yeah, I'm so over budget.
Oh God.
I'm so over budget right now, but like it is what it is. These are things we needed to do.
Worth it.
But hey, if you made it to this part of the video, we generally have to go pack and make it to our buddy's wedding and.
To the flight, by the way. You might be like, why are you going to a wedding at 4
Oh,
a.m.?
yeah.
We have a flight to
Yes,
catch.
and I haven't been home in 6 weeks.
No.
I actually
Dogs
haven't been
miss
home.
you.
I have literally haven't been home since September, and I will be home in November. So, yeah, if I haven't been posting too much in overnight or TFIL, that's why. But we're doing a road trip here, November 17th until the 23rd. Each night with one night off in the middle. We'll be doing some live stream investigations again.
Yes.
With all the investigation gear and all that.
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. I'm excited.
All right. Well,
I'm glad I'm not in here alone.
Next time.
No.
It'll happen.
yeah, to anyone who's coming to stay here, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time.
You are going to have fun.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Cool.
And turn off the lights. Let's lock up.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
See you next time.
Okay, now you can explain to me where we're at. You want to tell me tomorrow?
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Okay, but where are we?
We're in New York City. We're in New York. Let's go to Taco Bell.
Let's go to Taco Bell! We'll talk about our mission tomorrow.
Trespassers? Any trespassers?
We are back after the trespassing incident. Hoping nobody is here. And we're about to spend our first night in the Warren home. Nobody is here except for us, hopefully.
My first time sleeping here, not on the floor. All right, little BTS. So it's June 29th right now. I don't know when we're posting this. We haven't bought the house yet, but we're in the final stages. That's why we're here. Ginger and I.
The hell?
Ginger and I will be sleeping here for the next 3 nights. Because for the next 3 nights, we're gonna go over every little nut and bolt in the house to figure out what work needs to be done to it or doesn't need to be done to it to get everything 100% ready for this place to be finally open and available for investigations, including inventorying the entire museum, every single painting, all of it. So yeah, we're literally gonna be sleeping here, showering here, using the restrooms here. That light keeps flickering on and off. So we don't have the key to the museum right now. We'll be back tomorrow, or Chris and Dan will be back tomorrow, so we can keep doing inventory in the museum to mark down all the items. And we don't have the key up there, that's their podcast studio. But this will be anyone's, I think, first time seeing the main sections of the house and the basement, which is way crazier than I ever thought. So let's do it.
Come on in, everybody. The light just turned off again. Come on in, everybody.
Yes, we got to turn all that into parking. There's a bunch of dead trees here that we have to get rid of. If not, they're going to fall in the house. We got to do some trimming here. We got chicken coops here we don't need anymore. There it is. Oh, that air feels nice. Is that their security system that talks?
I hope.
Crazy.
Thought you were gonna say something.
Oh, I don't
Welcome to the kitchen,
I'm also making sure there's no one in here.
Hilton.
I'm just making sure. Oh, I know Big Dan's in here trying to f us. Yeah. So I think this is the only sections we've ever filmed in here in all of our past videos. This is where Wade was blessing everyone. But yeah, if you don't know, this is actually Ed and Lorraine's house. Like, that's the museum. And the museum was always attached to the house. There's actually a little kind of passageway that connects the two, basement to museum. But yeah, this is like their real house. And I realize I'm doing this all in gym shorts, but yeah, we have one bathroom up here. We'll do a quick one just to kind of show where everything's at now. The living room, got air conditioners here. So obviously we'll see what furniture they want to leave here. That's really cool, actually, the photos of her. Oh wow, that's really cool. So yeah, we have the 2 bedrooms here, and the goal in each of these 2 rooms is to put like a queen mattress in this room, and then over on this side, in their actual bedroom, is to put another queen mattress in here, and then be able to, right, have these 2 rooms functional. And yeah, this is really crazy. It's so weird being in here like by ourselves right now. You know?
Yeah, we've never done this before.
Yeah. The only way through here now is the bathroom. Yep. There you go. And then boom, bathroom.
Bathroom.
That's cool. It's really cool that still some of his paintings are just hanging out.
Oh yeah, which brings us right back to the kitchen.
Yeah, to the main room.
There's a little loop in here.
I had never even seen this area before until today. We agreed to buy the house and everything else without ever having seen 50-60% of the house.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the staircase was here, because when we came in here to interview Arnie Johnson a few years ago, we just like focused in on that, and I didn't even really pay attention to anything else around me. So, welcome. And this is the area where Ed and Lorraine would actually teach their classes. So nuts. Should we make it spookier?
No. No, this is why I shouldn't have given you the flashlight.
Crazy. So yeah, they used to. We're gonna learn some more information directly from Tony over the next few days and probably next few weeks. Learn exactly everything that they did here. I don't want to speculate on anything. I'd rather just know. But we do know that they were teaching classes down here. To what extent? I don't know. If it was on mediumship, demonology, was it summoning demons? Like, these are all the things we want to learn directly from Tony, because Tony is the most direct person to have any knowledge, right? More so than anyone else. But yeah, it's really, I just love the solid wood walls everywhere, all the different pieces of history, his love for knights and armor, and oh look, we got the Dracula book right there. Yeah, Ed and Lorraine posters back there. That's fun. They're old cassette players, probably. They play back their own tapes. We really didn't have much time earlier to look at all this either.
Yeah, we haven't spent much time in here at all.
Yeah, the light fixtures, the Christmas decorations.
Wow.
These, like, gargoyles.
Oh yeah, and there's a photo of them. I'm gonna zoom into it. That photo of them is of them sitting right there.
Right there, yeah.
It's like an Inception photo.
Precisely right there, yeah. All these old light fixtures here that are hidden. So cool. So this is one of the, let's call it project areas for us, because this is technically a permissible bedroom, and I'll show you what it looks like now. This is a permissible bathroom.
It's making noise.
Haunted bathroom. So yeah, we have to redo all of this to make it like a fully functional bathroom. We'll probably get rid of this. This is just not real furniture, just plywood. And then you can close this guy in as well. And then decide whether or not we're gonna leave these cabinets or try and make this into another investigative area. Obviously that's my goal, is to make everything as much of an investigative area as well. Like, massive closet here that we can probably turn into really cool shelving. I'm sure if people keep sending in items. And then, yeah. And then this is the
future Christmas room?
Future. Yeah, so we're thinking about putting 2 beds in here. So probably like, it's just a closet. Probably like one here, and then another bed over here.
Come look at this.
What are you looking at?
Look at this stash right here. Isn't that cool?
I didn't see that. Oh my god, that's so funny.
There's so much.
I did not see that.
Dude, I love the spray bottle.
This
That's
is
actually
so
genius.
funny. Oh my god.
That's how you know they're prepared here.
You know what's really funny is, you know how I spray the turf for like the dog deodorizer?
Yeah.
Like the big jug, and then you pump the hose.
Oh
through
yeah,
it.
you gotta get
Like,
that.
water and then pump the hose.
Like when you have the ant killer,
Yeah,
you just spray the perimeter, spray the perimeter.
Oh man.
Spray the perimeter of Elton.
Part of this whole thing is obviously the museum. The chicken coops are here. I don't know what we'll do. We can make that accessible, usable area. Their car is actually in here right now, which is pretty crazy. So when the museum gets opened, that car will be moving with us to the museum. And then there's the other carport area. This area right here is going to be turned into parking, because we have to have, I think, 4 parking spaces to meet coding requirements. And I don't want people to have to park like right here in front of the museum. I want people to be able to like park the car and be able to like stand back and just look at this house. We will also be running I think an 8-foot wrought iron fence.
Not high enough.
It's the highest you can legally go.
Go higher.
We can't. 8 feet's the highest.
At least 20.
I'll do one of those spiky ones Should I do like Vlad the Impaler?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do like spikies, and we'll put all the we'll put the bodies of all the trespassers on a stake, just out there, right? Yeah, exactly, just like that. Yeah, we're just kind of yeah, exactly. Or what we'll do is, if we go, you're trespassing, and they go, oh, I didn't see the sign, we'll go, then leave. Now we're telling you, and then if they don't, then we'll go.
Yeah, we'll be like, guess who else didn't see the sign? That guy.
Exactly. That really happened to you. That's crazy to me that you didn't see 9 signs and then pretended to not speak English. A huge part of this is unfortunately going to be putting up a massive fence around the entire perimeter of the property. And that is also going to get paired with a security system pretty much every 20 feet around the entire perimeter of the property. Because not only do I want to keep the house safe and all the items safe, but anyone that is staying here, I want you to know that you have absolute peace of mind that no one is potentially going to be trespassing during your stay here. And like we found out earlier today that like the Monroe police literally from call to arrival is like 4 minutes, which is pretty insane. Yeah, like where are we gonna put all the ghost equipment? Because I want ghost equipment to be part of this. Like where does it go?
In the fridge?
Oh, I know where it can go. That shelf that's actually on the other side of the bathroom wall. So there's the bathroom, there's that big bookcase right there. We can put it all right there. It's like right by the entrance to the stairs. It's also right in the middle. Yeah, let's put it all right there. That'd be nice. You walk in and all the ghost equipment's there. We can label everything on the shelf perfectly so you know what goes where. And then we can run a nice little charging station and leave it all there.
You just witnessed Elton make a decision.
Wow, decision number 1. I feel like that's a great place. We gotta decide what kind of furniture we want in the living room.
Hello Kitty, pink.
I really want to find a really cool, like, 80-year-old couch. You know?
Ew.
I mean, we'll reupholster it, but just something that has a lot of personality to it. Maybe there's a haunted couch. I didn't even think about that. People might have haunted furniture.
My couch is haunted. Help me, Elton.
That's a real thing, though. Like rocking chairs, for sure.
Yeah, I can see rocking
What's
chair.
a least likely piece of furniture to be haunted?
Oh, a bidet, obviously.
What the hell? I was just going to say a beanbag. Also, bidet is furniture? How long do you sit on it?
Why did my flash turn off?
I don't know.
Ah!
How long do you sit on a bidet that you call it furniture?
Did you hear that?
Why'd your flash turn off?
I don't know. Look, it's still recording, but the flash turned off.
I don't know.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Today was a very successful day. We checked something really big off of our list that we've been needing to do for this property, which was inventory. Elton and I sat through and went through every single item, and there are a lot of items in the Warren Museum, wrote down everything about them, and pretty much just itemized the entire museum, which is really important for the next steps of moving forward.
Yeah, we have a massive spreadsheet now. It ended up being around 700, roughly 700 items.
Also discovered a secret closet that even Dan had never noticed was there.
Yeah, in the museum, there was a closet behind a bunch of stuff. And yeah, inside of it was all of their original clothing. We haven't really been filming in the museum. That was just something we kind of, I don't know, slightly agreed to. It was just like until we have this all under like proper agreement, we weren't going to film in the museum.
Yep. Wow.
Okay, we've made it back to the house.
Yes.
And you're going to show us a little BTS of what it's like to open a haunted home.
A haunted home and a pending haunted museum. This is the entire inventory list that we basically did. We just walked through room by room the entire museum.
Give me a quick scroll then.
A quick scroll. The images are going to load, take forever. I think there's, what do we do? Like a couple hundred line items here.
Yeah.
So this is every single thing for the mass majority in the museum. Anything that we did not know for a fact was a prop. Because there are just some like Halloween decorations in there that we didn't categorize. But now we have photos of every single item, a brief descriptor of it, the quantity of it, in case there was like a lot, let's say like the haunted dolls. We know how many haunted dolls there are of it. And then we can go over this with Tony and go, what are like the main marquee things that are like absolute must-have stories, and then what are some of the other things that we like maybe were sent in and there's paperwork for it, and then we can categorize all this, and this is what we use. I'm literally still scrolling. I'm not even. I'm gonna go. Yeah, look here. Boom.
What was the coolest thing you saw in there that you'd never seen before or never noticed
Ed's
before?
car. Hilarious. The last thing.
The car.
Yeah, their actual car. I'd never seen it before. It's in the carport. Completely remodeled. 1934 Chevy Deluxe.
It's a car that they took to all the investigations in the East Coast. So the Stratford House, Heron's Conjuring, Amityville Horror House.
And it's in pristine condition.
It was fully remodeled after his passing.
But even just the exterior, like, it looks beautiful. It looks like it just got out of the car wash.
Yeah, and I think we found out there's 74 paintings that we totaled. There's more that we've been finding. There's even more downstairs in the basement. So that's what we did over the last couple days. And now we have something to actively go, cool, this is what's going in the museum, what's going to stay in the house, how are we going to move around, how are we going to build exhibits, and kind of planning that out. And then, this is what I've been doing, as well on my end, is I've been designing what I want the house to roughly look like.
On that sucker.
What I want the house to roughly look like. We have to get a perimeter fence for the entire property, so I want the front of the house to have this nice kind of Gothic wrought iron Victorian style fencing, and I want to have a nice like big W for the Warrens on the front of the house. And then this is what the living room is going to look like, furniture decor wise. Try and do some red velvet Victorian Gothic, get some tables in there, get the fireplace running. It's already kind of close to what the house looks like when you look around. Just for the memory books, you know? Your first time here.
First time here, yeah.
We've been to a lot of places investigating together. Rarely do I ever like feel a room, to be honest. You can walk in and say, "Oh, it just feels creepy in here." It feels a little like very like stuffy, very tight.
Do you feel energies?
I don't usually think I do,
but in here,
it feels cramped. Like it's like a little. Like it feels like I'm being like squeezed a little.
It feels like there's something every single 2-3 inches.
Yeah.
Even in you're in an open space.
Yes.
Yes. They're you know what they're doing? Vibratorily feeling you. They're checking your auric energy. They're checking your spiritual belief. They're talking amongst themselves. Vibratorily. If you had a DR60, you might hear that. You see, there's a lot going on. There's a lot more to life than taxes in a football game. So there's a lot going on in here. That's why we respect it, and we don't. They're not our friends. We don't like it, but we protect and make sure that they are protected and safe and not exposed to the world. The world is safer because what's in here.
Right.
I didn't see it.
It's so surreal to like just see.
In the agreement, right?
Yeah.
In real life.
Do you know why the tarot card is on the case?
I mean, I assume to just make people understand the
Exactly,
danger.
you're very correct.
Okay.
Because it's the devil tarot card, and Mr. Warren always wanted to remind people that this is not just a doll. It's not a toy. It is a demonic weapon that has killed people. So it's nothing to play with, or talk to, or bow down to, or give it gifts. No.
This has been amazing, man. Thank you so much for showing us around. I really appreciate the hospitality.
He's everything you said.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure.
We're about to make history here. 3, 2, 1, click.
Nick, did you ever think this would happen when you started editing our dumb videos 2 years ago?
I don't know how I got here.
Yeah, I don't know how you got here. I'm literally holding on to Nick's shoulders right now, by the way. I don't even need to. I can let go, but I'm kind of afraid.
I can feel you shaking.
Can you?
Yes.
I'm kind of afraid to like let go of you right now, because this is the moment. Like, as soon as I let go of you, this is it. This is for real. It's on the internet forever, and this is it. What's up? Huh? What? You can see it? What do you mean you can see it? Nick, you had one job. Can you see it?
He's doing a good job.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, I'm in vertical.
Okay.
Okay, Tom.
Yeah.
Lines.
Okay. All right. You sound like shit right now. This is it, everyone. Welcome to the world's most haunted house that Matt and I purchased. It's pretty crazy. They're doing it again. It's doing it again. This is it. I don't know how. Welcome to Ed and Lorraine Warren's house and museum.
Very early on August 3rd, we did our big live stream with Josh last night, and it was really cool. Today we're up bright and early because we have a septic guy coming, we have plumbers coming, contractors who are going to help us with all this work while we're gone, because we're not going to be back here for probably 3 weeks, maybe less. And everybody's sleeping right now, so I'm about to go meet all the workers outside. And yeah, it's pretty cool. This is actually the last time that we're going to see the house in this state. So in a little bit, I'm gonna walk around and just do a video and show you everything one more time, because starting next weekend while we're gone, everything's gonna get packed up. Everything, meaning this coffee maker and everything in the kitchen. They got buckets and buckets and every single item you see in the living room, I think down to even the furniture and pictures on the wall. And it's pretty wild because, you know, I've only been here a handful of times, but it's always looked the same. And for people who've been coming for 20, 30 years, friends of Ed and Lorraine, I'm sure it's going to be a big emotional process for them. So okay, there's a police officer behind me and septic tank behind me. Just a typical day here at the Warren house. I'm here managing the plumber who's dealing with the leak. I have the septic guy coming to empty our tank, and the cop showed up. And I didn't know what was going on, but apparently he said at the end of this road, there is a very large Raggedy Ann doll someone placed at the end of the road, I think. I'm not quite sure what that means, so he wants me to go check it out by myself. Oh. That's not it.
I know, yeah, I have seen Annabelle before, so
Oh, weird. Oh, wow, there's stuff next to it. Help me. There's like a jar of mushrooms next to it. Okay. And tequila. And tequila. Sorry, Nick, this is gonna be a long clip because I can't really touch my phone right now.
Apparently, one of the carpenters that we met this morning did a little creative liberty. And I want to see the thing. I also love that. Oh, that's what the neighbor has.
Oh, yeah. Knock, knock.
And I haven't seen it.
Come on, Wade.
I'm coming.
Ooh, don't say it like that. Don't ever go. I'm coming, please. Please. I never want to hear that ever again. Oh, dude. That's
Whoa.
sick. That's sick. I didn't know you were doing that. Yeah, dude.
That's so cool.
Yeah, leave it. That was your idea? No, I didn't. No, I know. I love it. That's
Heck
awesome.
yeah, that's awesome.
That's so cool, dude. Oh, that looks insane.
Let's see.
Oh, look, even the, yeah. Oh, dude, they're almost done here. And the panels are up.
Oh my gosh, so fast. Hello.
Got it?
What are you guys doing?
We are cleaning souls.
You're bringing a washing machine into the museum?
It was the only way.
How you clean the souls?
Is this where we do laundry now?
We're like, hit that guy.
It's a new Annabelle case.
It does look secure. Today is a clean out day. The chicken coop is getting started. It's going to turn into a totally different area than it was ever intended for. The gutter on the side of the museum is getting fixed. The electricians are downstairs in the basement. All the damage from the water leak is finally almost done. And we are gonna start removing some debris from here. Some dead trees are gonna go down just to make everything super safe, super nice and easy when people stay here. Trimming branches from tops of trees so we don't have any issues there. And designating parking spaces, the list goes on. And Elton is setting up cornhole.
Dan built it, I'm pretty sure. This looks like his craftsmanship.
I could see Dan building cornhole with like leftover materials from an Annabelle dogs.
First time walking out here in a while to see where we're at, and this is pretty nuts. Trimmed out all this, and they're working on this next, but just to make sure that we, the reason for trimming the tree is so that way the sunlight can actually hit the roof. That way the moisture can get evaporated as opposed to letting it sit, no sunlight. It sits, creates problems in the future. And tipping along. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. For reference, we were here for a while during all the construction. We left, we went home for about a week or so, and now we're back and a million things have changed. So now we're gonna see a lot of the house brand new for the first time.
Yeah, the rug.
Whoa.
We cut the beginning of the rug, so we wanted it to settle down because it was wrinkled a little bit.
Oh,
There's no light
sweet.
here.
There was.
Well, there was.
Well, here.
Look at this bed frame. This is cool.
So I was on the back porch and I had my headphones in. Nothing was playing, and I heard whispering.
In your headphones,
Twice.
like
Yeah.
someone was on a call
I
with
had
you.
one in my pocket and one in my ear, and yeah, whispering, and then
We saw
it happened
shadows
twice.
tonight. We were actually on the ground building the bed, and my back got ice cold. And I just
And
looked at him.
you
I'm
see
like,
somebody walk in.
he's
and
looking
then,
up. I'm like, is there someone behind me? He goes, I just saw a shadow walk by.
Stop
Yeah.
it.
My back got ice cold. And I said, is there something behind me? And he goes, yeah, I saw him looking up. He goes, there's a shadow just walked behind you.
I'm gonna get your reaction.
Ah.
This isn't here.
Wow.
Imagine this not here, okay?
Oh my god.
Check out your bathroom.
Ooh, bathroom. Oh my gosh, this is
Right?
nice.
Little heater on the bottom there.
A heater?
Uh-huh.
Keep your toesies warm while you're
Yeah.
sitting on the toilet?
Oh, you actually put a heater there?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, this is nice.
Right?
Cool.
All right.
Okay, our first
ready?
time seeing Lorraine's office.
Sick. Oh, this is super nice.
Right? Easy enough.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
These work now.
Wow.
How do you open the bed, Dylan? We practiced this actually.
we had to.
We really
it was
did.
like-
We actually
we
practiced it.
struggled to figure out how the mattress actually fits in here.
Watch this, ready?
2.
You just take.
And then 1, 2, 3, right?
Oh.
There. And
Nice.
look. That flips up. If you want a coffin look, you can feel it open.
Sweet. Is it comfortable?
Yeah, lay on it. Right?
We're entering. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Dude, we didn't know.
Oh, wow. Look at these chairs.
Oh, dude, what?
That's
Right?
a
Way
great
bigger than I
chair.
Weren't they cool?
I thought these were the same as the Annabelle chair. These are way
No,
bigger.
these are freaking cool.
This is awesome. Look at the detail.
Look at the, yeah.
Dude,
Look
let's
at the
go.
little angel babies. Whoa. This looks so different.
Oh my god. Wait, this is already here? Oh, right, this was.
Yeah, that was in that corner.
Yeah, and then that's been there the whole time.
Look how big this room is.
We found this picture of bed. Look at that picture of bed.
Oh, and that's the bed.
Whoa, look at that.
Here.
Look at the calendar.
my
Check the calendar
God.
out.
You look at the door.
1979!
Isn't that crazy? Check this
Oh
out.
my
Look up
God.
here.
Yeah.
Bottle of holy water. It's like a jug.
No
Yeah.
way.
And
Oh yeah, holy
Whoa,
water.
Let me see that.
A whole jug of holy water.
What's in your bag? I just realized what's in my bag. It's a TSA inspection, which means they went through it and found nothing but like gimmick boxes and ghost hunting gear, and they had to like go through all. I was like wondering like why, and this is what they saw. TSA was like, what the f is this? They found all my gimmick boxes and haunted dolls. Oh, that's so funny.
This is finally in, which is super cool. We now have fully functioning
sweet
drawers for all the ghost tools. Yeah, we got all this area now for all the light bulbs and storage and big drawers, and all the ghost tools can go in here. And then yeah, there should be a big shelf going here to like place more tools, top and bottom. That's super cool though.
Looks really nice.
Oh yeah, even on the, come look at this side. Yeah. Yeah, that looks,
yeah.
that looks super nice. Oh, dude, that's so cool. Dang, we finally have doors in here. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. First time I've ever seen it like this. It's like emptied out. It's actually emptied out. Oh, wow. That is my very first time seeing it like this now. That's so cool. Yeah, so now the idea is all these guys can go. Yeah, like this. Or we can just put all these types of things, you know? But yeah, we'll start bringing in all these little dolls that we found all throughout the house and just line up all the walls and shelves.